To the show, everyone. I am so excited about being here and networking with everyone. We're live on Facebook, so hello to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. My first guest has been on with me once before. I have with me Jason Casals. Twice before? Oh, I'm sorry, twice. I don't remember. It's hard to remember all these people, Jason.
I remember.
So, of course. Now, he's the owner of Modern Floors. And first of all, I know that we have a lot of questions that you sent me that I want to ask you, but I want you to first tell everybody a little bit about what you do and why you do what you do.
I do commercial and residential flooring, okay? I emphasize on commercial because I love commercial. And that's all types of flooring. So from gym floors to medical floors to carpet to laminate hardwood for your home, all types of flooring. And why do I do it? Well, I got into it about 7 to 9 years ago. Worked for one of the bigger companies, and I just really kind of liked going to people's homes and also even businesses and just showing people products. So maybe I kind of have like a little bit of I also have a heart of a teacher actually. So maybe it's like that part of that and showing like material and educating people on products and things like that and not just focusing on price. And then just wanting to do my own thing. Who wants to like run, like do something for another company, especially a big one when, you feel like you just have like a personal connection.
Absolutely. One of the things that you had emphasized the last time that you were on was no bull, upfront pricing.
With no bull. Upfront pricing with no bull.
You have made that like it's so important, and I want you to actually talk a little bit about why that ever came up and how you do it.
Well, the reason why it kind of came up is because, like, as an example, one of the things we don't do is 75% off room sales. 50 room sales. That's the bull, right? And so if you look at the small print on a lot of those other bigger companies, they have like one selection, like one carpet, one laminate, and one LVP, right, as what you can choose for that 50 room sale. Plus, it's only the product, not the material, not for take-up, not material, not the labor, it's only the material. So when you would, again, I worked for some of those companies, you're just like, you felt really slimy, kind of like a car salesman. So my idea, that's why I want to start my own company too, is actually being upfront and honest right off the bat, right? There's no like, let me call my manager, yeah, here's your price at $30,000 and let's drop it down to 18 by the time I leave your table or by the time I leave a company, right? And people will ask me sometimes, even though I do have a 10% military discount, that's true, but they always like, well, can you do anything better on the price? I'm like, I already gave you like my bottom line price. Like this is going to be Home Depot, Lowe's, all the big guys, that kind of thing, So I don't know. I love helping people too. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, you're a people person.
Yes.
Definitely. You wanted to also tell everybody that you're mobile, that you have a mobile showroom, and why that's so important for people to understand how great that is.
It's important because if anybody has been bebopping through some of the big box stores and you see a product that you like, how do you know if it matches your furniture or your paint? Or any other types of comfort, your drapes or anything like that in your home. And so it's important to be able to bring multiple samples into someone's home and show them up against their cabinet. See how it pulls the color from the countertops or their furniture. And that's that design consulting thing is that I was telling you about. Was that even my sales rep also has the same knack, and she loves it too. You can hear her talk about it, and we love to share that. And then some people they have their own knack, but a lot of times they ask for our help. And I said, "Do you want my opinion?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. What do you think?" Right? Because they want some help and some opinion with that, and that's why it's important, right? And there are places that let you take out samples that are the size of a postage stamp, and you bring it home for $1.50, and it's like, how can you pick that color or that style off of that? You know what I mean? These are full-size sample boards, and if they're not big enough, I can even order some that are bigger to have them mailed directly to your house.
Also, the lighting. I think the lighting is huge.
Okay, I forgot that part.
Yeah.
Yes, so in a big box store, any of them, they have fluorescent lights usually. And so your home might have yellow lights, day lights, you might have a skylight, and that's going to change what that product looks like. Good.
Now, you are valley-wide. You're rated with the Better Business Bureau. You do free in-home estimates, and he's licensed, bonded, and insured. Why is that important?
Well, that's one of the things that's kind of crazy. I actually called the ROC, the Register of Contractors, not too long ago, and was trying to report somebody that didn't have a license. And they're basically telling me they don't have enough manpower. And they're saying there's just so many people out there on Facebook and running, jobs and stuff like that, because you can find a guy that'll install flooring. But what happens if the unthinkable happens? Like, he's not answering his phone. You just spent 10 grand, 15 grand on new floors, it's falling apart on you. So a licensed, bonded, insured individual, no matter what it is, landscaper, flooring guy, air conditioning guy, whoever, at least you have the ROC to take away their license, to find that person. And when we work hard for that license, we don't want to lose it. So that's why it's important to use somebody like that, because they're afraid to actually do the wrong thing, where the people that don't have a license don't care.
You also have a 2-year workmanship warranty.
Yes, now that's back to the ROC.
But I want to talk about that.
Yeah, so the ROC, just to educate everybody out there in the radio land, everybody has a 2-year workmanship warranty, right? So that's for our workmanship. And that's based on industry standards. There are some people out there, again, I'm not going to mention names, but they have like a lifetime warranty for workmanship. But really, they just write it on a paper contract with no actual details. And I would probably say that doesn't stand up in a court of law.
Well, I think what you bring to the table too is your passion. You're passionate about just being in business, owning your own business,
Yes.
And the integrity that goes along with that. So when he says upfront pricing, he really means that. And he's both residential and commercial. It's important that he is licensed, bonded, and insured, rated with the Better Business Bureau. And he always gives veterans and first responders, they get 10% off. His phone number is 928-793-1603, and you can check him out on his website, which is modernfloors.com. Okay, I want to come back over here with some of the different questions that you have here. And it's very hard for me to totally, we've heard your backstory, right? Okay. And you've got why it works, why it's so important that they work with you. What's the turnaround time when they work with you? What are the different things that are different with you than with the big box? Or somebody that just comes over that you don't even know.
Well, again, I'm going to be honest. So the big box, some of the big guys, they can do fast turnarounds also. I have a lot of different install crews that are vetted. And so that's how I can do turnaround fast. We have in-stock products that's local in the area, so we can get that the same day. And then having multiple different crews that are really good, they can usually install within a day or two of getting that product. Now, they're also very professional and they're very fast. Multiple different people with tons of the right tools, and it's amazing how fast they do the job. Versus some other people have told me, like, they've given me examples of like, wow, like my sister got it, their floors done, and it took them almost a week and a half. Like, you guys are very quick and efficient. But the difference is between us and maybe one of the other guys that can do it quickly is if something goes wrong, we're very fast at fixing what's going wrong. The big guys might be able to install quickly, but they're not very good at fixing things when something goes wrong. Even a transition piece falling off.
Part.
Yeah, just like the door, like the little door frame or piece in the doorway, that falls off or something, it could take them almost a month to get out there to fix that. Just things like that. So.
And you talk about busy homeowners, and there's a thing about that right now. Listen, the holidays are coming up. We want to get our houses looking perfect, right?
Correct.
Give him a call and he comes to you. He's mobile, he's licensed, he's bonded, he's insured. The phone number to call him is 928-793-1603. It's Modern Floors with 2 Z's.com. Hang tight, we're going to be back in just a minute. Okay, so the other thing is I'm kind of flipping back and forth here a little bit. I want to talk about your education and the design part. I think that's going to be really important too, okay? I'm just sort of like lightly highlighting some of these things.
You can talk about trends if you want to put like an asterisk right there. That might bring us into the next segment. Plus, you got that one, which is 2 minutes, 2 minutes. So 4.
Don't worry about it.
What's the biggest thing someone is when choosing and installing FLOORZZ? We've already talked about that. I can see why you're learning. AI sucks. There's too much stuff.
Yeah.
I could have just erased all that and just put.
That's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. We got to know what to do.
Okay, but then let's go shoot from your head from that. Like you just brought up Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right?
I do want to talk
Got an
about
answer
that.
for that.
Right?
You might not like the answer exactly, but.
Sorry.
I said we'll talk
Why?
about Thanksgiving. You'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
It's not bad.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Do you want me to do that then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. There's always a way to roll it into.
Okay. Because the holidays are coming up and a lot of people are wanting to get their houses, especially if they, what about people that have had trouble with monsoon season and have to get, do things. A lot of people are do-it-yourselfers, why they shouldn't do that. Things like that we can talk about.
But here's the thing, to kind of give you a little peek of what I was going to say, is that you want to set expectations up front. You're not going to try to, so again, some of the bigger box stores or companies are saying, we can get it installed before Thanksgiving. And it's like, well, I'm not going to put myself up against the wall. So I say, let's do that. Let's go ahead and schedule an appointment for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, but let's not try to do this at the last minute.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I was going to say.
That's for sure.
So, again, to me, it's another gimmick.
Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do right here. Yeah, that's Unless it's bonded and insured too.
Whose voice was that?
His.
His. What?
That time. You see how fast they go no matter what.
I like that guy's voice.
That's one of my voiceover guys.
Yeah.
And he does the board too sometimes too. So welcome back, everyone. We're talking about flooring. And right now I was just talking to Facebook land, basically. We're talking about that it is the holidays coming up. And I mentioned Thanksgiving. And you said, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Carol. Tell me why now.
Well, I think at first my first thought is again, one of those gimmicks is like, we can get it installed before Thanksgiving, right? And, just being an honest and upfront company, we don't want to put ourselves, in a bad situation and try to promise something that we can't do. So what I say is yes, why don't you schedule an appointment to at least start doing some research on getting some floors done before Thanksgiving. But let's not wait until the week before.
Right.
And some of those other companies have those gimmicks, and you'll see them this November. We'll get your floors installed before Thanksgiving, guaranteed, or it's free. So I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
No, that's.
But I will put some beautiful floors in for you for Thanksgiving. Before you guys have your Thanksgiving dinner and stuff like that.
So I have to ask you, okay, because I know that you you like to educate people,
Mm-hmm.
help them, they make the decisions, but you also help them sort of design things, and you give them ideas, right?
Yes.
And you bring that showroom to them with a plethora of different flooring. What's hot in flooring right now?
Luxury vinyl plank. A lot of people have seen the LVP luxury vinyl plank when you're bebopping through Home Depot or Lowe's. And that's hot, but it's actually not. It's kind of like going to the back burner now because there's waterproof laminate, and that seems to be coming to be the new hot thing. The reason why is because laminate's made out of real wood and a real paper. And so it seems more realistic than the luxury vinyl plank. And so before, what you'd actually kind of see is all the laminates were actually being put in the very, very back of the store and kind of hidden. And then LVP was on the front, but they're kind of switching a little bit because they're making some beautiful, beautiful laminate now.
How about carpeting? I mean, is there colors that are big for this year?
Well, I think the two-tone or three-tone carpets has been.
I always liked that. Yeah. I always liked that. I had an oatmeal type of coloring.
That's a good point, like oatmeal, yeah.
I like
That's
that.
the color style. Now, I think the grays are out. So
Are they? Finally.
Yeah, so like when I say like when I help design and stuff, it's more about like picking people's colors inside their homes, but I'm not really like, oh, grays are it, you know, and like you should do brown or whatever. It's more about fitting their home. But what I've seen is the trends where people have said, I don't want grays anymore. I'm tired of the grays. Now, you know who actually sets the trends? It's actually HGTV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're watching all those shows and they see what they design,
Uh-huh.
and they want the black appliances now and the gold knobs and this type of flooring or the browns or whatever like that. So that's usually like when they're redoing the whole house kind of thing.
So, but it's fun because you do come to them and you help them make decisions. You might be something that you think right away, oh, this is what I want. But you know what? When you come in and you see it in your home, where he gives you that option to be able to do that, and you say, you know what, I'm not sure. Right?
Yes, and you also talk about education, right?
That's right.
So education comes down to also the product and how it fits the needs of the family. It also can actually fit the needs. Are you button up against tile? So an LVP is a much thinner product than tile. So do you want to step down and have a reducer, which looks ugly, or do you want to go with a laminate that's thicker? There's all the different technologies inside LVP. WPC made out of wood, SPC made out of stone, things like that. This is the educational experience you're going to get when I come to your home.
That's awesome. I mean, that's really deep. Now, I want to also say there's sometimes people that have pets and children, and there's also flooring for that.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Right? And so that, you know, it does depend on your family, your lifestyle, right?
It does, exactly. So you ask qualifying questions also. How long do you plan on being in the home? Do you have pets? How heavy are those pets? Are they active? Are they not active? Do they pee all over the place because they're old? Things like that. So again, it's exploring.
That's education.
Yes,
Folks.
you're
That's
exploring
really, truly.
their whole options for their home, right?
Yeah.
And I can give you a perfect example. A person wanted really, really cheap carpet for their kids' bedrooms because they seem to always get like fingernail paint and things like that.
Oh, the worst.
And I'm not going to sell them for a higher end carpet. I'm not even going to try to pretend there's a carpet that can handle that. There's not. So let's go with the cheap carpet in the kids' bedrooms. You can replace that when they get older. So kind of an example.
Now, he's valley-wide, rated with the Better Business Bureau. He is passionate about helping people picking the right flooring for your home, but also by making sure that you've got upfront pricing and no you know what, right?
No bull, yeah.
Yeah, no bull. And the 2-year workmanship warranty, he offers these free in-home estimates. He's licensed, bonded, and insured. He's both residential and commercial. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau, and veterans, all veterans and first responders always get 10% off, which is nice. Thank you for that as well. His phone number is 928-793-1603, and the website is modernfloors.com. Here, we'll come over here. Well, we talked a little bit about trends, right?
Yeah, we did. Now I'm stuck. I don't know what other trends to talk about. We got grays and the browns are kind of coming back. I don't know the trends.
Well, when you think about it, but you know what? What's trendy for what's in may not really work for you, right? For that person who wants it.
Correct. I can give you another example. A person had a lot of cherry furniture. Cherry furniture is not really a trend, like that red color of furniture.
I know exactly what it is.
But I had a product that fit that, right? So there's a lot of choices out there. So sometimes the trend isn't actually the trend; it's somebody is the opposite of the trend, and so we're helping them with that too. But I think we kind of hit what it is. If I had to say what is the #1 trend right now, I would say go into the waterproof laminate.
Yeah.
So, and large format. So large format planks, like 9 inches wide by 60 or 70 inches long. They just look really grand and really nice in a big area.
Yeah, you have to have a big area for that.
Not a small house,
right.
not a 700 square foot apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but those are beautiful. They really are. So the thing is about when you're working with somebody, the difference between going to a big box, or we see the commercials on television all the time, and using somebody like him who's boutique style. I personally like that myself. I want somebody that's going to come in, that I can count on to talk to and connect with, right? That's a real big part of that.
Yeah, my marketing guy actually even said that. He goes, Jason, there is actually people out there that don't want to work with big companies. They want the local guy. So you should advertise yourself as the local expert, flooring expert, right? And I'm like, I never really thought of that. Because I kept wanting to make myself look big, But he's like, no, people want to work with a awesome company that's a little bit smaller. You can talk to the owner, that kind of thing, and you sound like that
I'm
type
that
of person.
person.
You're my customer.
I am, absolutely. I've always been that way, even
Yeah.
when I was younger. I'm not, like, I don't go to the department stores. I don't like any of that. I like going, there's a big difference and the feel is different. And when you're spending the money on that, I like the attention that I get, whether it's from the owner or just whatever, you know. I know you probably have people also that work, you know, for you as well, but I'm just saying, it is so nice to have that person who's there for you, especially if something does go wrong, right? And it doesn't happen all the time, obviously, but when it does, having somebody that you can talk to, that you know that's there. Also, when you do a job, when you're working with people, how long are you there when you come in? Because that's another part of it.
How long is who there?
Like when you come in, you know?
Well, I was going to say there's a big contrast for that too. So some of the bigger guys out there, they just send the installers, and you never hear back from the person that went out there and showed you product. You don't even have a person checking in. Mostly it's at the end.
That's what I meant by that.
They're like, okay, here's your paperwork, sign, and we're done. Do you have any
Right.
problems? I try to go on every job I can. Now I do the whole valley, so it is kind of hard to get all the way over to Sun City West when I live over in Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
But if, like, I just went to Maricopa and I went to Casa Grande on Friday for 2 jobs. Went in there, took pictures, shook hands with the homeowner, asked if they can give me a review. You know, was everything, they loved their flooring and everything like that. So there is more of a personal touch than you would with a bigger company that's just.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
There is no doubt. I personally like that, and I know most people out there, they think this is what they think by going to, let's say, one of those big box stores, that they're getting a better deal.
I don't think so. Because a lot of times they're stuck on the price. Like, they can't, like, just say, you know what, I'm gonna take care of you and do a lower margin, or how about I don't even margin up the product, I only do labor for you. Like, they're kind of stuck. They have managers, they have people above them, or whoever, right? So, I mean, everybody wants to make a fair dollar, but at the same time, if, you know, you think a big box store is gonna be cheaper, cheaper is a strong word, but more economical, I guess, because I don't want to say their
Affordable.
products. Yeah, I don't want to say their products are cheap, but I'm just saying, you don't have the same type of, a lot of times, a person that can actually just help with that.
There's nothing like it. I totally love that. Here's the thing, folks. Right now, the first thing you should do is pick up the phone and call him and have that consultation. He comes to you. He brings the showroom to you. His phone number is 928-793-1603. His website is modernfloorzz.com. Valley-wide, he's rated with the Better Business Bureau. He does free in-home estimates, licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial. He has a 2-year workmanship warranty. There's nothing like working with a boutique firm. I know anyone who's ever worked with someone like that, they know how much they'll enjoy it. Again, that number is 928-793-1603. It's modernfloorzz.com.